Hey, so today you're gonna go through my lunch routine with me. Give me a second to put on the mic. I'm gonna kind of talk about some things that I've had going on. So I'm at 787, got my tea that I'm walking away with and my new cup. I really like this cup. But while I'm away, look at this. Sandwich. That's lunch. Yeah, so I go around and that'd be funny. Go around, try to find loose sandwiches in the city. I am trying to figure out how to hold this because I have a mic thing attached. I might have to pull over quick. Okay. No mic. And now I can hold it like this. Easy. Bitch, what you looking at? What the hell? So, off work. I have an hour-long break. I'm not gonna hang out with you for the full hour, but I don't know, I thought it'd be cool to document kind of like my routine while I'm on my break. When my breaks were only 30 minutes long. Oh, also, during this I'm gonna tell you about an update from, since the last time I've actually gotten to sit down and talk. Lately I've just been, Alina! Shoot, this is Alina. I'm recording a video, but yeah, just walking off to go grab some food. Yeah, but well, I see you now. Hey.
Hi.
Good to see you. Is everything going well? Wow, that was a surprise. Alina was one of my favorite coworkers at 787 Coffee. She worked up in the office mostly, but what a surprise to see her. So, hold up. Routine. I'm also gonna. I don't think I actually got to finish. I'm going to talk about me telling my roommate that I'm leaving the apartment and a little bit about his reaction and how I'm feeling about it. Not feeling the best about it. And a little bit about last night applying to a new apartment. I know I posted a little clip of even we're applying, but I feel really good. And also update on new job, new position at work. But this is Gardenia Deli. This is where I go to lunch all the time. Hey, hey.
How are you?
Good. Hey, how are you? Huh? No, I stayed in the city. How about you? Did you stay in? Did you stay in the city? Yeah? Cool.
All right, got it. Last.
Oh. Oh man. That salmon looks great. The soup looks great. The tortellini though. I think I have to do the tortellini with maybe some of that. Good. Could I do the tortellini with some salmon?
Anything else? Maybe veggies, corn, or rice?
A little bit of corn, a little bit of veggies. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. All right. Hi.
How are you?
Very good.
That's it for you?
Yep.
$14, please.
Okay. Out of 50?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rock real quick. So yeah, I always go to this deli because they're always super quick. That was actually one of the longest wait times I've ever had to get up there. Something I did not know, or somebody didn't get the right change, something like that. But yeah, I get the salmon quite a bit, so it's not a surprise that I went for it again today. But we're actually going to take our lunch over to Hudson Yards. Work over near Penn Station, near Madison Square Garden. Yeah, you can see Madison Square Garden behind me. But I really like this area because it reminds me just of like where I live. I think that when you live in like one of the boroughs like I do, like living over in Astoria, sometimes you forget just how big everything is in the city. Because when you're out like when you're in Astoria, it's like a friendly village of people, and everybody's super nice to each other. I know all the business owners, which I'm going to talk about a little later, but I think like having to come down here to work and like having my lunch breaks to like kind of try new spots that are like in the city, like in Manhattan, I really like that, especially with my longer breaks now. So it's been like a whole month. I haven't really done much into December for this thing, but let me tell you about my new job. They've been switching around the management for my location quite a bit, and it just came to the point where I got recommended. My name came up in a meeting. They were like, how about him? And basically what I heard is that everybody was like, he is too busy trying to build his own thing. He will not want to spend the time that it takes to do this job, which would require 2 extra hours each day and having 5 days of work instead of the 4 days of work. So it'd be like a little bit extra, which would turn into a lot of extra time that I'm spending at 787 and for 787. But with that comes a raise and an end of the month bonus if we hit our goals. And I'm not one to like say no to an opportunity. Usually we'll say yes and figure out the details a little later. But I felt prepared to do this one. So now I'm the store leader, or barista lead of that location. And so it adds a lot more responsibility, but it's like almost all the responsibilities I wanted, so then I could like decide things that I was getting frustrated with because nobody was doing them. An example would be like where the coffee is stored. Where do we do our pour overs? Where do the syrups live? And where are our extra things? All of that was stuff that was like undetermined, which I was able to reorganize and like make the store operate a little bit more efficiently. And it feels good to be able to make those decisions and take responsibility and credit for the changes made. I mean, I'm 3 weeks in now, work on my full month, and it's been very interesting, to say the least, to see the change in the attitude change my friends have towards me. Like, it almost feels like I've been written off to some friends. Like, oh, he quit. He took a full-time job. He quit all of his dreams, and now he's just trying to survive. This guy's a failure. That's kind of like the thing I was worried about while taking a job. And now that I'm working a full-time job, it's kind of split people in half. I guess some people haven't really changed, but there's the side of people that you didn't see before when you were a freelancer struggling like everyone else, that has a different form of respect. Like, oh, this guy's struggling, let's hang out with him more, let's give him jobs. Now people just like I said, written me off, where it's like, oh, he will not be available, and they might be right that I wouldn't be available because I work more, but he's not available. And he's also not, it feels like people don't treat me like a creative anymore. And that sucks. But the silver lining is that the pay difference is nice. And while looking for a new apartment right now, this is basically exactly what I needed. I don't know how a freelancer gets a nice apartment in New York City. You have to have a lot of money, I think, to be able to do that. Or somebody to be like your guarantor while signing. So having a full-time job that's like legitimate and also consistent, like I work 5 days a week, every week. I work almost 10 hours a day, every day that I work. And there's bonuses and extras on top of that, like tips. And so like I think it's gonna be easier for me to be accepted into an apartment with consistent pay like that, rather than saying, oh yeah, I have a few clients, this is how much I make, I can pay rent, I swear, I promise. But like not really having a pay stub to show for that. So, yeah. Past few weeks, including the holidays, have been pretty stressful and like all over the place. My whole routine changed. I was like building this routine, and then I was working the same shifts, and then they offered the position and I knew it would change things, but man, I was going home exhausted. Just go straight to sleep. Go home, go to bed every night. Not because I didn't want to do anything, but because I really needed to. Just go to bed. Here we are, Hudson Yards. We're gonna go up the High Line. Okay, I found a spot. Got the pretty tree behind me. Drinking a mint tea, and it's like exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to set up this while I continue to talk. I think I'm a different person than I was a month ago. And I can talk about that more, but I just feel like new job, finding a new place to live, feeling like I have more energy now, especially after this past week, just like the past 2 weeks draining me. Like I feel like I'm a much more capable, responsible version of myself. And as we come into 2024, I'd like to keep that, keep this newfound like lifestyle around. Okay. I think I only brought my bag because I knew that I could use it as a phone stand when I found a spot to sit. This might actually become my new lunch spot because this really isn't that far from where I work. Let's keep the trees and the buildings behind me and eat. So this is an area I work in. Pretty nice. These are some of the most expensive real estate buildings in the city behind me. a lot of wind. But just look at this food. I know I just strapped this, but look at that. Delicious. I'm gonna open it up and show you again. Oh my God, that looks like mom made it. There you go. Salmon, tortellini, broccoli, vegetables, everything you need. This place, it does remind me of my mom's cooking, and it feels nice to like have, like, my mom made salmon pretty often, so salmon's really delicious. She liked to make tortellini, and we always had vegetables. So living so far away from my family, it's really nice to have something that reminds me of getting home and having something hot to eat. So it's nice. So I told my roommates I'm moving out. It's crazy. I was so nervous about it. I don't know what made me so nervous. I was like anxious. I had anxiety around it. It's like, they're gonna hate me. Like, this is gonna like ruin this next month. I'm gonna be so uncomfortable. And you know what? It kind of did, but whatever. So my roommate the past few months has been doing room checks. He wants to look in my room and see what's going on, see what I hung up on the wall, see what I did. And like, this was something that he added to give you the full situation here. I lived at this place for a full year and re-signed for 2 years. And then when I came back to re-sign for 3 years, he wanted me gone in 3 months. He was like, okay, we're only gonna do a 3-month lease. And I was like, what? That doesn't make sense to me, because like, I don't know what I did. And it was because of some situations like with family coming to visit, and there was like a couple months in like the springtime where I couldn't pay rent, and like it took me a couple days to like get it to him. Not like a week later, like 2 days. 2-3 days later, then I got it to him, which is still bad, but like not as bad as like just being like, I'm not paying, you know? And I paid. And I made sure to pay extra later, just because I knew that it was an inconvenience to him. But anyways, we went to re-sign and he gave me 3 months. That was just this last September. And then this last September, we talked about it, and then it was like, okay, 2 more months. And like that was gonna bring us to December. And I was like, no, it was gonna bring us to end of November. And I was like, I can't move in 2 months. Can we extend? And he was like, okay, 3 months. And I was like, well, that's the end of December, which is bringing us into the start of January, which is all the holidays. You really want to do that? And he was like, okay, like January 15th then. And I was like, you really want me out? Like, this is, in my head, I'm like, this guy really wants me out because he's just trying to get the soonest date possible. And so I was like, can we just do the end of January? Because that's easy for me. Because then I have all of January after holidays to figure out a spot. And he was like, okay. So like our whole conversation was like, yeah, you're gone after this one. And I was like, I mean, I'm not like best buddies with these guys, but like I'm not bad. I clean up after myself. I don't leave dishes. I wipe up the bathroom every single time I leave, even after doing my shaving. There's not really a reason for them to like be so harsh on me, other than maybe they just don't like me that much. And that's fine. I'm not trying to please these people just so that I can live there. So, over the summer, talking to some friends about the situation because it's stressing me the fuck out that I have to leave in 3 months. Confuses me, so I'm asking everybody what their thoughts are. And everybody's like, then you should move out. But I couldn't move out in September, so I was like, okay, I'll move out at the end of the second time that we re-sign. And so I talked to my friend Jared. He was just new in the city. He was doing a month-to-month lease, and I was like, if you want to hold on to the month-to-month to the end of January, I'll find a place with you and we can get somewhere for less expensive than we would have to rent on our own. And he was down. Little did I know, me and Jared would become like really, really good friends over this like period. And now like I feel like I'm gonna have a really good friend that is also gonna be my roommate and be supportive of everything that I'm working on and wanna like be a part of it. And like that makes me excited. To be able to come home and then have somebody that's like, oh, are you gonna post a video or work on like something today, make me feel like I'm actually like a creative again instead of these other people that are ignoring me, that's gonna be really great. 100% thankful for that. I think I met the right person at the right time. But I sat down, I was planning to tell Nick's my roommate. I was planning to tell him on Friday. Just tell him, hey, I plan on moving out at the end of the month. Sorry, it's not necessarily you. I love the place. I think it's time to go. But it wasn't 30 days. And I didn't know if he was even home. He wasn't home on the 1st. He was like out partying on the 1st of January. So 2nd of January, I come home like at 10 p.m. and both my roommates are sitting there on the couch talking. And I go to my room, I drop my stuff off, and I come back out and I sit with them because I'm like, I think this is the right time to tell them. Like I can't imagine like a better circumstance for exactly 30 days before the end of the month. So we talked. One of my roommates got broken up with. We were cheering him on, saying like, hey man, you're gonna find somebody else, it's good. So kind of like a heartwarming conversation with these guys, like very like bonding type conversation with these guys. And then we all talk about our New Year's and everybody's like celebrating what we all did, and it was like excellent. And then we got to where we were just like, yeah, all these terrible things, but man, this is gonna be a great year, and guys, I'm so thankful for you. And I was just like, wow, this is getting even harder to bring myself to say that I'm leaving now, because these guys, like, when you have like a heartfelt conversation with people about like how valuable you think they are, like you don't want to tell them right after that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be moving out and that's probably it, you know, like we didn't hang out while I lived here. What's the chances of us hanging out when I'm gone? We all made plans to go play pool together on Monday. And I'm like, the pressure's really building now. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta tell these guys, like, I'm not hanging out for, I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna be here for another hangout unless they invite me after I'm gone. But you know what? If it happens, I'd be happy. I'd be really happy because it would feel like I actually made connections with them. But from my impression, I don't think that, I don't know. I kind of feel bad about it, but I don't think that we made a strong enough connection to like hang out often. Maybe once in a while reconnect. But it's weird. You live with somebody for 3 years. And you still don't really know them. I guess like we all had our own lives, but whatever. Moving on. So I say, oh no, one of them says, okay, I think it's time for bed, and he like starts to get up, and I was like, hey guys, I actually have one more thing I want to tell you. And I'm like, fuck, I said it. In my head, I'm like, fuck, I have to actually follow through on this and actually tell them. They are sweethearts, and they all turn to me. And they're like, yo, bro, what's up? Hey, what can I do to help you? Like, you seem like you have something on your mind. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, I'm actually gonna be moving out at the end of the month. I think I'm like looking for a place, like in the most like stumbled way, just saying like, yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'll be gone. Planning on moving out, and Nick was like, wait, you're not gonna leave? You're gonna leave? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a new spot. He was like, when are you leaving? And I was like, at the end of the lease, at the end of what we signed. And he was like, when was that? And I was like, end of January. And he was like, dude, and he checks his watch and he's like, you can't, dude, you gotta tell me. And I was like, that's why I'm telling you today. And he's like, yeah, glad you told me today. Honestly, I probably could have told him way sooner because I was planning on moving, but I just didn't have for sure idea or plan on how that was actually going to work. And I wanted to feel the promise of this job actually following through on its paycheck, and it is. So I feel like I can find a place. But yeah, the reaction was about what I expected. Kind of upset, stressed him out after he was just saying like, this is going to be a great next year. And yeah, that's the hardest moment I had in the whole thing. Let's see how actually finding a place goes. But speaking of, went to go see a place last night. Right down the block from where I live. It's going to be the easiest move of my life. And I'm going to be living with somebody that I feel actually gets me, instead of two people that kind of understand what I do for a living but don't really want to talk about it. And I don't blame them. So, yeah. Looking for a new place now. I feel really good about our chances of finding like a really nice spot. I feel really optimistic about the future, but you never know. You just have to take the leap. That's what I'm doing. Like, I'm right in the air right now. I just hopped off the cliff. Telling my roommate I was moving out, that was hopping off the cliff. There's going to be strangers in my rooms viewing it the next few weeks. But I'm glad I did it. That was like the thing I was scared to do. And now it's time to look towards the future and actually find a place. And the place that we saw last night seems really promising, and I'd be happy to live there. So, excited. This is delicious. And that's it. I want to say that these videos have been like a really great outlet. Like, it's been a really good outlet for me. It's hard to find moments where I can really talk about how I'm feeling about stuff and process those audibly. And I think this is like healthy for me. Like journaling is healthy for people because you get to process your thoughts in a different way, and your feelings, and kind of figure out like patterns that you have and problems you have. And I just really appreciate having the opportunity to do this. And like, I've been stunned with the amount of views that some of these have gotten, but the feedback of people like just saying like, keep going, like, I love to see this is the type of content I want to see. It's really encouraging. And I just hope that by speaking how I feel about my situation and circumstances and like me chasing after my goals and dreams, I hope that it inspires and empowers other people to do the same, because we're all a whole lot more alike than we like to think. And yeah, that's about it. Keep chasing your dreams, fellas. You got it. All right, I'm gonna finish my lunch, get back to work. Feel pretty good. I'll see ya. Bye.